Dear students, welcome. Today's lecture we are going to discuss the general characters of viruses. You are familiar to the term virus. They are cellular organisms. They contains nuclear material and proteins. No definite cell structure is found in the viruses. That's why they are nucleoproteinous acellular entities. That is the first character of the virus. They didn't have their own metabolism and can only replicate inside the host cell. Viruses have inner core of nucleic acid surrounded by a protein coat known as envelope. That viruses are infect all types of life forms from animals and plants to microorganisms. Viruses can be observed only under the electron microscope because viruses are very small, that's smaller than the bacteria. They are 10 to 100 times smaller than the bacteria, and its size ranges from 20 to 300 nanometers. So these viruses can pass easily through bacterial filters, so they are filterable. Viruses cannot make energy or proteins independent of the host cell because the viruses don't have their own metabolic system. So for the energy or the proteins, they depends on the host. Most viruses infect only specific type of cells in one host. So viruses are host specific. Most viruses infect only specific types of cells. Another important property of the viruses is viruses can undergo mutation. So the viruses are very dangerous to the life. The viruses get destroyed by ultraviolet light or ultraviolet rays. The viruses cannot be grow in artificial media. Viruses can't grow in artificial media in the laboratory. They can live only in living cells only. They can be crystallized like a chemical substances. That means the viruses shows both the properties of living and non-living. Viruses can be crystallized like chemical substances. Viruses shows metabolic properties or shows metabolism, shows its growth. These all the characters are living characters and non-living characters. They can be sedimented like proteins. They can respond to stimuli such as acid, alkalis, light, and temperature. The sedimentation property and crystallization property. These all the properties are non-living properties, and response to stimuli is one of the important property of living organism. So it shows both the properties of living and non-living organism. So these are some of the important properties of viruses. Viruses are a cellular organism, so definite cell structure is not found in the viruses. Only the envelope, and inside the envelope the genetic material is found. The envelope is made up of from proteins and the genetic material. So viruses are nucleoproteinous cellular organisms. They can live only in the living cells. So that is the obligate parasite, intracellular parasites. They exhibit both living and non-living characters and infectious particles and attacks plants and animals both. They either have a genetic material as a DNA or RNA, not the DNA and RNA both are present in the viruses. So these are the some properties or general characters of the viruses that shows certain characters are non-living characters and certain characters are living characters. So the scientist placed them on the border of living and non-living organisms or organisms at the age of life. Viruses are also known as the organisms at the age of life because they shows both the properties of living and non-living. So thank you. That is the first lecture for VSc first year student. Thank you.